Okay, so we are going to be applying the Pythagorean theorem to solve problems. Quick review here. The Pythagorean theorem can be used to find unknown side lengths of an object that is shaped like a right triangle. It also can be used to find diagonal measures in certain two-dimensional and three-dimensional objects. So you definitely want to make sure you complete the first Pythagorean theorem assignment and kind of understand the last video about that before looking to apply the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to start with this first practice problem. A basketball court is the shape of a rectangle that is 94 feet long and 50 feet wide. What is the length of the diagonal of the court? Round to the nearest tenth. So let's do some strategies. I'm going to underline the question here. What is the length of a diagonal to the court? I'm going to circle the numbers. And especially when I circle the numbers, I also like to include the labels there as well. So we're talking about feet. This is 94 feet long, 50 feet wide. Now another strategy is to draw a picture, right? So this is talking about a basketball court. We know basketball court shaped like a rectangle here, so it doesn't have to be a great picture. I'm just going to draw a rectangle. So we got 50 feet wide, let's label that, and 94 feet long. I'm going to label that as well. And we're looking for the diagonal. So this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem here, which we know from the last video is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're looking for the diagonal, or our c squared, and so that means that these two numbers are our legs. Doesn't matter which one is a or b. So here we have 50 squared plus 94 squared equals c squared. So if you have a scientific calculator, it will have a squared button. Otherwise, you can just multiply the number by itself. So 50 squared is 2,500, and 94 squared is 8,836. We're going to add these two numbers. And then in order to finish the problem, if we have a c squared here, in order to just get just c, you have to take the square root. So it's the square root of our number here. Now, this is not a perfect square, so on a calculator you're going to get a bunch of decimal values. It does say in the problem to round to the nearest tenth, so I'm just going to round it to 0.5. It's like 0.47, so I would round up there. We're going to do one more problem. Here we have what is the length of a rectangular plot of land shown. So here they actually give us the picture, which is nice. And notice here the diagonal is labeled. And this time we're looking for this side B, right? Now one thing I'll just point out about a rectangle is if this is 300 feet, that means this is also 300 feet. So this is going to be our side A, right? So we have the A, we have our side C here, and we're looking for B. Again, I'm going to use that Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to plug in my values here. So you'll notice that I'm going to keep the letter B here because that's what I'm looking for. Just like before, you're going to want to square these values. So this is going to be 90,000. This is going to be 105,625. Now, in order to find B, you're going to want to subtract 90,000 from both sides. So this number that I just got, I'm going to subtract 90,000 from it. So that means that B squared is equal to 15,625. And again, in order to find what our b value is, you're going to do the square root. And this actually is a perfect square. This comes out to be 125 feet. All right, those are some applications of the Pythagorean theorem.